Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this reading, I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot cards, and I'm just gonna draw a card for each portion of the week. And my intention is to get some kind of insight and idea into what we can expect coming up this week. Okay, so I'll start with the first card, which represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Okay, so we've got 8 of Fire, or 8 of Wands, and this card is all about traveling. And the sense I get with this card is that this is about upward movement. So as you can see, there's a little figure on a really narrow stairway going up, zigzagging up this mountain towards the sun. And if you look closely, you'll notice that there's clouds and kind of haze in there. So this is about kind of that journey of, however you want to look at it. I see this as a journey of spiritual ascension or spiritual awakening, where you're moving up towards more light, more clarity. But you have to sort of go through that struggle of walking uphill and journeying through all the mist and all the clouds. So you might not be able to even really see the feet in front of you, or the path in front of you as you're walking up the path. So for a lot of us, we might experience the beginning of the week as feeling like we're doing things, we're going somewhere, but we're not really 100% sure where we're going. Things aren't totally clear to us, but we do have that sense that we're doing something productive, even if we're not sure what the outcome is going to be. So I think I'll come back to this card, but I'm going to move on to the middle of the week, so Wednesday and Thursday. Interesting, we've got a similar kind of color scheme, this sort of redishy orange, and I associate those colors with passion, aliveness, lifeblood, but also the root chakra, which is all about being connected to the earth and being connected to our desires. And with the when we get to the middle of the week, we've got Thunderbolt. Now this would be the Tower in a traditional tarot card. And I see this card as almost a sudden kind of spiritual awakening, or a sudden kind of shock to the system, where we're sort of thrown out of our habitual way of doing things, and we're almost sort of in a way kind of forced to step outside of the safe confines of our day-to-day life. So something is going to happen midweek to sort of shock our system a little bit and allow us to look at things from a very different angle or a very different perspective. And this experience can feel, it can make you feel kind of vulnerable and like you're on shaky ground, or it can make you feel like you're, just out of your comfort zone. So this can be a big feeling or kind of a minor feeling, but you feel like you're sort of outside of your comfort zone. And in a way, this is very, very freeing, and you can choose to experience this as being like a sort of a step towards your own freedom, or you can experience this as just being very feeling very vulnerable, like you want to kind of get things back to how they were. But the main message here is that life is unpredictable, and that in itself can be either stressful, or it can be freeing. Or it can be, both of those things at the same time. But because this is a major arcana card, it points to something sort of major, and I feel like because it's in the middle of our week, it's kind of the theme. I feel like we're working up to it in the beginning of the week, and then the middle of the week we have this sort of spiritual awakening. So moving on to the end of the week, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have a calmer card here. So this is the Knight of Rainbows, or Knight of Pentacles in a traditional tarot deck. And this is all about slowing down. The Knight of Pentacles is represented by a turtle in this deck, which I love because he's a slow-moving knight. And again, we have this theme of moving onwards, like in the beginning of the week with the card of traveling. You're still traveling at the end of the week, but you're going at a much slower pace. And I think a lot of it is just kind of recouping from sort of the excitement of the middle of the week. And interestingly, we see there's traveling upwards, and then the thunderbolt, we see people falling down. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not like you work hard and then everything crashes down, but it's more like the middle of the week is more about a questioning of what it is that you're putting your energy and your efforts towards. So some of us might be questioning, if our careers or jobs are really what we should be doing or what we want to be doing. And sometimes things like relationships, friendships, all that stuff can kind of come into question with the thunderbolt, because we're asked to really explore whether we want to keep going on the same path, and a lot of us are going to be sort of forced to make some changes there. And all that, of course, is very it can be very, very exciting and stressful. And so then when we get to the weekend, we just want to sort of retreat into our shell a little bit and go at a slower pace. So there's the upward movement, downward movement, and then he's still moving forward, but at a slower, more relaxed kind of pace. So this weekend, I think, is a good time to kind of hunker down, do things that do feel, comforting for you, things that make you feel safe, things that are within your comfort zone. So this weekend isn't necessarily the best time to leap out of your comfort zone, because that's kind of what you're going to be doing all week. So the weekend is a time to recharge and to retreat, and also to get clear on what direction it is that you're going in. And because that's what basically the turtle, or the Knight of Pentacles, is about. He's about forward movement, but doing it in a slow, kind of deliberate, careful way, where he's planning and thinking, what step he's going to take. It's not like a restless charging forward. It's kind of a slower progression. So I'm just going to take a step back and look at all of these cards together. It's interesting. We have a nice balance here. We've got, a minor arcana card, we've got a major arcana card, and we've got a court card. And they're all from, the two minor arcana cards are from different suits. We've got fire, and we've got rainbows or pentacles. So there's a nice balance this week with like passion and energy, and then the groundedness of the suit of rainbows or pentacles. So there's sort of a nice balance with this week. But it's going to be a big week for a lot of us in terms of having sudden epiphanies, ideas, sort of spiritual, I don't want to say a spiritual crisis, but that is kind of what it is like. It's like a spiritual crisis or a spiritual shift that's going to feel big. And that's all represented by the thunderbolt. So it's a big week for a lot of us. So it's important to, I think, sort of insulate your nest, if that makes sense. And I'm looking at the turtle when I say that. So, doing things to make yourself more comfortable as you go through some of these spiritual shifts, and as you have these epiphanies and realizations, and as all this kind of change